Yeah, Courtney, just first of all, how's this week kind of gone in preparation for a really big series?
It's gone well. It's gone well. I feel like we're at that time of year where we're in a really good routine. Um, and so it's a balance of just managing reps, getting prepped, and the weeks go fast at this point. So I think we're in a good spot and ready to go.
Yeah, talk to me about LSU's pitchers a little bit. I know Lynch has come on strong from. Everybody knows about Berzon. Berzon, I think I'm pronouncing it right.
Goes on. Yeah. Well, they're really strong. They're really strong. They complement each other really well. Um, that's been a consistent strength for them for years now. Beth does a really great job. And so it's going to be a challenge. You're playing, they have a strong pitching staff. They have a strong offense. We're playing at LSU, which is a tough place to play. So it's going to be a huge challenge.
Whenever you look at LSU and you see when things are going good for them, what is it kind of like their recipe to success, I guess, offensively?
Offensively, is there a really good balance of power, table setters? They put pressure on defenses. They're aggressive on the bases. Um, they understand their zones really well, so they don't stretch a ton. Um, so they are a very complete offense.
And then last thing I'll ask you is just what have you liked, in this kind of back half of the season about the team? It seems like just every weekend maybe that there's something like new encouraging you might see about the team to kind of just grit out another series.
Well, I would say exactly that. They found ways to grit out another like series, and it looks a little different every weekend. It's someone different every weekend. I think that more often than not, our pitchers have given us a chance and they've fought for us, and our defense has been steady. And then it's, someone different stepping up offensively. I think that we've made good adjustments to pitching staffs we're facing. I think we've um, gotten better from game to game and just found ways to win. Some days it doesn't look great and we find ways to win, and some days it looks great and everything's firing. But the name of the game is just finding a way to win and finding a way to be +1. And I think they just stay the course, and they've been really resilient, especially of late. Evan?
Yeah, good morning, Coach. First of all, Morgan Leinstock, another SEC Pitcher of the Week award. Can you just, describe what she feels when she takes the mound every week and how she continues to give you, A+ performances?
Well, I think that the key to Morgan giving us A+ performances is that she has a ton of confidence in herself and her team. And even though she may not be feeling her best on any given day, she's going to give you 100% of whatever she has to give that day, every single pitch. And I think you can see that when you watch her is she's going to give you everything that she has. And she does it for her team. So she's been steady for us. She has good stuff. She trusts her stuff. She deals her defense. She's had short-term memory with certain things that she's needed, even from like last weekend, from Saturday to Sunday. She dives into prep to make sure she's ready to go on the front side, and then she'll dive into the games to make sure she can be even better the next time she faces them. And she's just really committed to her process, but her confidence and her fire just pours out onto everyone around her.
The team's had a lot of success recently on the road. How do you plan to continue that this week going to LSU?
Well, I don't know how we plan to continue that. A good question. If we knew exactly the why, I think we'd just bottle it up and keep it forever, so we could just keep recreating it. But this team's not fazed by being on the road. I think they have a lot of confidence. It's very business-like when we go on the road. It's a business trip, so they're just focusing on what's in front of us, each game, one game at a time, and so it's equated to being really strong on the road. But so I hope it continues. It's a tough place to play and a tough team, but they've really focused on just the business part of the trip. really well.
And I know it was in game, but Big Z and Coach Cal came out to the game over the weekend. What'd you kind of think of them being there in the fan reception?
It was really cool. It was awesome to see him calling the Hogs on the dugout and just the fans embrace him. And so it was really neat. It's fun to see Coach Cal put his team together and just the excitement that the fan base has for that. But it's the excitement they have for all of Razorback athletics. It's really special.
And only 2 weeks left until the SEC tournament in a couple of weeks. What do you hope to see your team continue to improve till you guys hit the road for, I believe it's in Auburn this year?
Yeah, it's in Auburn. I think that it's just continuing to see the steady growth that this team has had throughout the year. And I think we're still continuing to do that. So I think it's making sure that we're just really doing a good job of staying present in the moment. At this time of year, you can start looking ahead. You can lose sight of just where you're at, and that's what this team's done really well is just really focus on the moment and learn from it and grow from it, and then just focus on the next moment. And so it's just continuing to put the focus on that. Right now, we're worried about Friday. That's a big enough challenge in itself, but we'll just take one day at a time, and we'll be ready to go as the SEC tournament and postseason comes.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Mm-hmm. Chip.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, Chip.
Hey, so the last 4 series you guys have gone down to the final game, to clinch the series. How do you feel like that playing with that kind of pressure, in the last game of the series will help you guys in postseason?
Well, I hope it helps us because it's a sport of series. It's a sport of trying to figure out how to win 2 out of 3, or you can really, regionals isn't so much like that, but supers is. And it's not necessarily the pressure. I don't think this team feels a pressure to win that 3rd game, which is really nice. I think there's teams that we've had that have felt that. It's mostly just taking each day for what it is. And we haven't, we've dropped that 2nd game. I think that's what we want to get better at is, we want to attack the 1st game. We want to figure out how to be better there. But this team has just grown from day to day. And so it's not necessarily a pressure to win the series. It's just a wanting to respond to be better and win the day. And that's added up to some series wins.
When you go into those 3rd games of these series, how do you shrink the game down, and tighten it down where it's like, more pitch for pitch, and I'm guessing that's what you're doing. You're trying to shrink the game down and focus just okay, that pitch, then the next pitch, then the next pitch, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's whether you're going into that 3rd game 2-0, 1-1, 0-2, whatever it is, it's an opportunity to win the day, and it's learning. The 3rd game is about what's happened so far and learning from it and finding a way to be better. And I think that's what we've done really well is facing another pitcher for the 2nd time, or facing an offense with our pitcher for the 2nd time. It's just figuring out how to be better, how to learn from what's happened, take the information. We watch a lot of video, and just figuring out how to be better and win the day. And so that's ultimately what it's been all about for us.
LSU's a little bit of a kind of a hard team to figure out. They beat Texas, then they drop a series to Ole Miss and that kind of thing. What do you see about like their pitching staff, which they seem to, then they hit the ball well, but what do you see from them? What is their strength? Is it pitching? Is it hitting? What is their strength?
Well, they're strong in both of those areas. They have a very potent offense. They have a pitching staff that's incredibly strong. And so I would say on any given day, their strength is either or both of those. I look at their year not necessarily as a reflection of LSU, the team, but more so of the sport. I just think the sport just continues to get stronger each day. Any day, it's hard to win at all. And so I think that they had that really strong stretch at the beginning of the year. I think they 24-0 or 25-0 And in that had some really big games against some top teams. And then, you know, a lot of the games they've dropped have been really close. And so they're in every game. Their pitching keeps them in every game. Their offense is never out of the game. So I think their strength is in both of those, really.
Nia Carter hit a little bit of a speed bump like midway point of the season, but she's really been swinging the bat well the last 2-3 weeks. What did she do to did she do anything to adjust, or was it just trusting the process and having some of those balls that she hit hard that didn't get through, now they're getting through?
I think it's just trusting who she is. I think that this game is tough. You're gonna have highs and lows, and it's just like, how are you gonna work out of that? And usually how you work out of that is just remembering who you are and getting back to what makes you really good. And that's what Nia's done. And you know, when Nia is at her best, she's peppering the ball, she's dropping bunts, she's moving through the box, she's standing in, she's just really unpredictable. And you know, but she has such great hand-eye and such great barrel control that she's never out of an at-bat. And she's gonna force you to make a play on her, and that's what she's done really well.
Good deal. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other questions for Coach D?
I have one final one. Reese, of course, she made her return. South Carolina series, pitched a little bit again this past weekend. Is she still on any sort of pitch count? And what have you thought about her outings?
Well, I think she's done really well, especially for the amount of time she's been out. She's just really dove in, ready to go. You know, just in a game situation, that's the one thing that's really hard to recreate in practice is just, you know, the high leverage pitches in those situations that she's been in, and she's handled it really well. It's not necessarily a pitch count per se. It's just really just trying to get her endurance back and her stamina back. And so it's just kind of, you know, each day we work a little bit more. She gets tired, we work through that so we can just kind of continue to increase that. And she's done a really great job. So each time she's gone out, she's been able to do more. And we're continuing to increase that in practice. So I really like where she's at and how she's continuing to get better.
It seemed like even whenever she was out there, out for a little bit, she's really engaged. Seems like she's been a good teammate through it all. What have you seen from her, you know, throughout that process of kind of getting back on track?
Well, that's exactly it. That's who Reese is Reese is just a huge supporter of her team. And it was a tough run for her. It's tough when you're on the sideline and you have to look in for any reason, whether it's an injury, whether that's your role for the day. And I thought that she's handled it really well, especially with the added frustration of not being able to get out there and just kind of waiting and being patient. She just supported everybody around her. I know she dove in with the staff of just supporting them. And I think she's done a beautiful job of just being patient and then being ready and just handling that really well.
Thanks, Courtney.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.